Jai Gurdev to all of you. Myself Rohit Dutt, and I'm taking your business studies class. So, students, in our previous class, we have seen or discussed uh, types of partners. Today topic is types of partnership. Before I begin, again I would like to remind you, please go through the e-PDF of this chapter so that learning could be more effective. And one more message, please follow the guidelines of lockdown and stay home, be safe. Coming to our first topic, that is types of partnership. Okay, so partnership can be classified on the basis of two factors, namely duration and liability. You can see over here duration and liability. Clear? So coming to our first point, that is classification on the basis of duration. Okay, so it has been further classified in two parts. First is partnership at will. So the time period or the purpose of this form of partnership is not mentioned at the time of its formation. Clear? It can continue for any length of time depending upon the will of the partners. Okay, then coming to next point, that is particular partnership. Okay, so it is a partnership formed for a specific time period or to achieve a specified objective. It is automatically dissolved on the expiry of the specified period or on the completion of the specific purpose. Got it? So these two were on the basis of duration. One was partnership at will and the other one particular partnership. Coming to second one, that is classification on the basis of liability. Clear? So it has been further classified in three parts. So first one is your general partnership. Okay, now in this form of partnership, the liability of all the partners is unlimited. Got it? So this is the traditional and most common form of business. Clear? Then coming to second point, that is limited partnership. So in limited partnership, the liability of at least one partner is unlimited, while the other partners enjoy limited liability. Got it? This type of partnership was initially not identified in the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. Okay, it gained recognition after the introduction of new small uh, enterprise policy in 1991. Clear? So this policy allowed the formation of this partnership so that small entrepreneur could raise capital from continuous investors.
Got it.
One is limited liability partnership, that is LLP. So this form of partnership came into existence with the passing of LLP Act of 2008. So it is a corporate form of organization that provides the benefit of limited liability and allows the partner the flexibility of organizing internal structure as per the mutual agreement between them. Got it? So the liability of each partner is limited to the capital contributed by them. Got it? Now, next topic is partnership deed. So, as we have already discussed, a partnership arises on the basis of agreement, whether written or oral. Clear? So, implied between the partners. So, the written agreement containing the terms and conditions of the partner is known as partnership deed. Got it, everyone? So, a partnership firm is formed when two or more persons enter into an agreement, as we all know, to form a partnership firm. This agreement can be oral or written. Clear? So to avoid disputes in future, it is always advisable to have a written agreement. So after signing the agreement, the partnership firm comes into existence. It is not compulsory to get the firm registered, but partners of the firm prefer to get the firm registered because a registered firm gets some benefit which unregistered firms do not get. Clear, everyone? So partnership did already told you that it is a document containing the term and condition of the partnership agreement is known as partnership deed. So it is a stamped paper on which the rules, regulation and terms and condition of partnership are written. Clear? So it also contains the right and duties of the partnership firm. Clear? Now let's see the common contents of partnership deed. Now, so the common content, that is name of the firm. Got it? Then nature and address of the business, your location, then duration of a business, okay, investment made by each partner, distribution of profit and loss, duties and obligation of partners, distribution of profit and loss, salaries and withdrawal of the partners, terms governing admission, retirement and expulsion of the partners, then interest on capital and interest on drawing, then procedure for dissolution of the firm, then preparation of accounts and their auditing, and finally method of solving disputes. Then coming to next point, that is registration. Okay, so registration means getting the name of the partnership firm registered with the registrar of firm of the area in which the place of business of the firm is situated. Okay, or is to be situated. Okay, so or it is proposed. It is optional for a partnership firm to get registered. Clear? So legally it is not compulsory for a partnership firm to get itself registered, but then also partner prefer to get firm registered because an unregistered firm suffers from the following various problems. Okay, like consequences of non-registration. If you are not doing registration, then what are the consequences? Like a partner of an unregistered firm cannot file a case against the partnership firm. Got it? Then second consequence is a partner of an unregistered firm cannot file a case against any other partner of the unregistered firm. Got it? Then there another example, like an unregistered firm cannot file a suit against any third party or outsider for recovery of a claim. Got it? Then other consequences, the unregistered firm cannot file a case against any of the partner. Got it, everyone? So however, it should be registered as it provides a conclusive proof of the existence of the firm. Got it? So and okay, because there are some limitations as we have discussed now. Clear? Now let's see the procedure. Okay, so the procedure for registration of the partnership firm, a partnership firm can be registered at any time, that is at the time of formation or later, or whenever partner desire to get it registered. To get the firm registered, the partner have to apply to the registrar in a prescribed form along with the registration fees. Got it? So along with the application, the following information must be supplied, like name of the firm, the principal place of the business of the firm, that is head address of the head office. Okay, then address of the branch office. Clear? Then date of admission of the partner in the firm, name and permanent address of all the partners, and duration of the firm. Clear? Then the application must be signed by all the partners. The registrar will verify the above said information, and if satisfied with the authenticity of the information, he will issue a certificate of registration. Got it? So the certificate of registration is an evidence of existence of firm, and firm gets benefit of a registered firm. Got it? So after registration, if any changes are made in the information submitted with the registrar, then the same change must be communicated to the registrar also. Got it?